Film Development Hell, Day 52, Sundance Development Track is the name of this video. Why? Well, my name is Deborah Richards, and I'm an independent film director from Las Vegas. And for the last year and a half, my team and I have been in development of our next feature film. It's a horror called Scissormouth. And today I'm super excited because the stars have magically aligned. I'm at the right place in my career, at the right time, with the right project to finally be able to apply to the Sundance Development Track. Now, as you guys know, nothing happens without coffee, so let's get some coffee and then we can get into this. Cheers, guys! Now, before we talk about what Sundance Development Track actually is, there's two things I want to address really quick before we move on. One is yesterday's video had a 15-second gap in it of just like dead space, just black screen. And I wanted to wholeheartedly apologize to all of my 218 subscribers and all of my viewers for that. It was shoddy at best. I am very aware of the oxymoron that is, I am a professional filmmaker, yet my YouTube is rough and ready at best, yeah? And so I wanted to talk about that really quickly. I am a filmmaker, I'm not a YouTuber, and I really am enjoying, now that I'm 50 plus videos in, I'm really enjoying this YouTube journey and sharing my life with you guys. It's been really fun and interesting in many different ways. But the goal isn't to be a YouTuber, right? The goal for me is to be a filmmaker. So I said to myself right at the beginning of this YouTube journey that I'm just going to have it be long form and raw, and sometimes my mic might not be working, and sometimes I might be out of frame, and you might think, well, how could this woman possibly be a good filmmaker if her YouTube videos look like this? And the reality is that I want to make sure that these YouTube videos, that I can make them every day and that I can edit them and get them out the door, so to speak. As soon as it's taking me more time to put in production value into my YouTube videos, then it is taking away from my job as a filmmaker, writer, director, etc. So, and also you got to remember that when you're making a film, especially in the narrative space, everything is very planned out and you know, meticulous, and you have a lot of people working to get the shot. This isn't the case with my daily life. I'm just holding a camera out and you're hanging out with me at work. And so I'm not justifying having 15 seconds of black space in my video yesterday, but I am just trying to give you guys, you know, I'm trying to set the table so that you guys know the production value is never going to be great on my YouTube because it is rough and ready and instant. Cool. Anyway, that's out the way. The second thing I want to talk about is I've completely forgotten. The second thing I want to talk about is wins. I feel like I have a lot of wins in general, okay? And it would certainly probably seem that way to the public because I don't post the losses on social and our team don't dwell on our losses. Huh? Exactly, right? We all present our best life on social and stuff, and we as a film company and as filmmakers, we celebrate our wins. And so it seems like, you know, often there is a distribution deal or an award or a film festival placement or an interview request or whatever it is, right? There seems like I'm very blessed. I feel like I have a lot of wins. But I want to let you guys in on a secret and the reality of that. For every win, there's a gazillion, well, maybe not a gazillion, but maybe like 3 to 10 losses. Yeah, for every acceptance email we get for something, there are 10 emails of not accepting for something. And the point I'm making is that the flip side of that coin is that every win that we have had, or every win that I have had personally, has been because of effort that I've put in the past, right? If I got into a film festival, it's because I applied for that film festival 6 months ago, and I was able to apply for that film festival 6 months ago because I started making a short film a year before that, or whatever it is, right? Well, every single win isn't just a magic win out of the sky. It's usually because Patrick, my business partner, or myself have actively engaged with, trying to make something happen. The reason why I bring all this up is because today we're going to apply to the Sundance Development Track. And honestly, I don't expect to get in. I really don't. And we can talk about what the Sundance Development Track is in a second, but I just want to say, just right off the bat, I don't expect to get in. And the reason is, do you remember that scene in The Shawshank Redemption when Morgan Freeman is up for parole again? And he's done the parole thing so many times. And this time he's like, they say to him, "Are you reformed?" And he's like, "I don't know if I'm reformed, but this and that." And he just speaks his mind, and it's completely off the cuff. And he's just been through the system so much, and he's been through this process so many times that at this point he somewhat doesn't give an F. And then like stamped his parole, or his release rather, and he's been reformed is the thing. I feel like that with some of the things we apply for, because this isn't my first time trying to reach out to Sundance. Yeah. We have submitted things in the past to the Sundance Film Festival, and we have used Film Freeway to submit things to Sundance Film Festival. And I've never had anything in Sundance, so we've never had any success. But I've certainly, I think, over my career, I've maybe had 6 submissions, maybe, or 5.
Sundance Collab, Director's Collab.
Yes, I did. Yeah, that is true. In 2022,
2021.
Was it 2021? Yeah, 2021, I applied for the Sundance Collab and got a scholarship to a 6-week program that I got to workshop my first feature. But that's a little bit different from the Sundance regular. And let me explain that for you guys. Okay, so the thing that we're going to apply for today, the Sundance Development Track, we're going to do some research in a second, and I might be wrong about this, but there's basically 3 development tracks available. Okay, and the Sundance Film Festival, if you don't know, is one of the most important film festivals in the world, respected, one of the top 5 film festivals in the world, and originally by Robert Redford, and always up until now hosted at, where is it? Park City?
Park City, but they're moving the festival to Boulder, Colorado.
They're moving the festival to Boulder, Colorado. Anyway, it's pop quiz, Pat. Here you go. What was the first film to win Sundance?
Six Flags Videotape.
Oh, he's so good. He's so good. He's so good. I knew that, but I didn't think he did. But he is so good. How do you know that? Anywho, let's get back to the plot. So Sundance Development Track is the kind of behind-the-scenes thing that Sundance does to develop films, projects, and they have multiple fingers in the pie of the creating and developing and nurturing of careers and talent and projects to fruition, which is what we need. But like Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs was a Sundance development track film. Did you know that? Yeah. So it's an amazing thing. But you have to, in order to qualify, there's a lot there's a lot that has to happen, right? So, anyways, that's the Sundance development track, and that's what we're going for. And the Sundance Collab is like it's a company owned by Sundance, and it's like their educational division, right? And you can just pay to have a course at the Sundance Collab, and they do that online, and that's essentially what I won a scholarship for. But the Sundance Collab itself doesn't lead to the Sundance development track. They're like two completely different worlds. In fact, on the very first day of Sundance Collab that I was in our feature development training program thing that we were in, um, one of the first things one of the instructors said to us as a group was, "Do not ask about how can I get my film in Sundance, or can you tell me anything about how to get a film in Sundance? Like, do not even bring that up in Sundance Collab. You're not allowed to bring it up to any of the instructors, because obviously they have people that pay for, Sundance Collab classes or whatever, and like, hey, look at me, how do I get my film in, blah, 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 blah. And they've kiboshed that by, they've put a lid on that by just nipping it on day one by saying, don't anyone bring that up. So that's Sundance Collab, but that's not what we're here for. We are here for the Sundance development track. And I feel like Martin Freeman oh my gosh, what am I saying? Morgan Freeman in Shawshank Redemption in that scene, because there are many opportunities that I have applied for that I felt at the time I had a great project and I was ready in my career and it was the right fit for this opportunity. And I was sure I was going to get that opportunity. And I can't even count the times that I've done that. So, and I feel that way again this time, to be honest. I feel Scissormouth is super strong. I feel like I'm at a point in my career where I've directed over 200 commercials and I've directed 2 features, and I have a pretty good grip and a grasp on the industry and all the practical nuts and bolts of the tools that we use to make film, but also the business side of it when I wear my producer hat. So I feel like Scissormouth is great, the team is great, we've got a great script, and we all believe in the film, which is why we're making it. Now, applying to Sundance is a bit of a mission creep, because our A plan is still to raise a mixture of private equity and Regulation CF crowd equity, and control that trajectory and make our movie. And that is still the plan. But the Sundance development track is for next year. And honestly, this is a B plan. If for any reason by next year I've got absolutely zero traction and not raised any money for Scissormouth and the team is flailing, then this could be a Hail Mary. And what an amazing Hail Mary it would be. I mean, like, if we got to the point by Christmas where the project just isn't really getting off the ground and doesn't have legs, and then all of a sudden I get accepted into any part of the Sundance development track, wow, that would be amazing on so many levels. I mean, it would be amazing for me to be in that program, period. And then it would be amazing for the team and the project to be supported by Sundance after not. So this is a B plan thing, right? And we're going to go to a lot of effort for a B plan. But I've always said some of my best A plans in life started life as B plans. And I think that's one of the tricks to being film director, is you gotta have, you gotta have an A plan and a B plan and a C plan. You gotta be able to pivot, because you get set and it's suddenly raining or whatever. And I tell people that as a director producer, my job is to see what the biggest fire is on the horizon and start dealing with that first. And so as things get closer to us, there's less and less fires. And so it's all plain sailing. Smooth sailing? Plain sailing? What's that expression? So I said to Patrick this week, look, the window is open right now. We've got about 9 days to apply. Scissormouth is in fantastic shape to apply to one of these tracks because we got a killer script that's been vetted. We got a star attached. We got materials. We got decks. We got concept art. We got the team. Everything's really, really in shape. So maybe, just maybe this is the perfect opportunity to apply and get this done. So I said to Pat yesterday, please help me with this because I really want this personally, but this is an amazing B plan for Scissormouth. And this is the game you're playing when you're making films. You're playing like three-dimensional chess. Some people say, well, what do you bring to the party first? The financing or the distribution or the stars? Everything. It's everything everywhere all at once with filmmaking. And then you keep doing that and you keep bringing things to the center and loosening all the variables and they jiggle around and sooner or later they everything just clicks into place and you're making a movie. So that's what's happening here, and Pat's going to help me with the application. But I'm guessing this application is going to be bananas. I'm guessing there's going to be like 5 essays to write, and different tracks and a whole bunch of stuff. So literally, Patrick's going to come over here in a second, and he's going to help me, and we're going to get this done. And I'm really excited to put in what I call a good showing, meaning like put in a really good application. And we'll see. Who knows? Who knows? Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. If you know anyone out there at Sundance, please put a good word in for me. And if you work for Sundance and you're watching, hey, Deborah Richards, Scissormouth, check the application. Hit the approve button. Let's go. Let's do this. I'm pumped. Sundance 2026 development track. I'm looking at the application thingy.
And the only thing you would be screenwriting.
The Screenwriters Lab held in January. Why? What's the other 2 prongs of it or forks of it?
No.
How does it work?
All 3 of them are all for screenwriters. But for the Directors Lab, this is not an open application for that. This is only an open application for these 3 screenwriting labs.
So the Directors Lab, though, it says here there is no open application for the Directors Lab, which is typically populated by projects that have been supported through a previous development program.
Right.
So you have to do this before you get in the Directors Lab, which is the goal.
Right. Eventually.
Excellent.
So you go through this first.
So you said you only apply one, and then they decide which.
They decide which of these 3 tracks, these 3 programs that you'll be best eligible for.
And the 3 programs are the Screenwriters Lab in January, the Screenwriters Intensive held in March online, and the Sundance Institute Sloan Fellowship includes participation in either the Screenwriters Lab or Intensive and commissioning grant.
And grants. So,
Ooh, and a grant.
So it has to be completed online by May 14th. So that's next week. Somewhere, I think it's Friday or Thursday.
Okay, so contact info, that's easy. Eligibility questions,
For the primary,
that's easy.
a series of questions about your project that will determine eligibility. So.
Well, Pat.
Yeah, I'm reading it. Yeah, so we've just submit it and you'll give us a bunch of questions that we have to fill out. Bios, so you have your own bio.
Okay.
Introductory statement.
Uh-huh.
Short essay questions, 150 words max. What are the key themes?
So I have to write like 6, 7 essays?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, remember we did a whole bunch for a previous
Yeah.
I have it right here on my screen. So.
Oh, fantastic. Wow. So guys, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 essays that I have to write. Synopsis, that's no problem. First 5 pages of the screenplay.
This is no problem. And $45.
No problem. Next steps.
Okay, that's that. Then we apply, and then you just have to.
So do you think we should apply and then knock each one of these things out one at a time, or do you think we should prep all of this first and then
Because
apply?
you have to answer it when you apply. Okay. These are questions they're going to ask you, so you should have them already prepared. Just copy and paste.
Okay. So,
Let me write this word.
what is a Sloan applicant?
That's another. That's the commissioning grant.
Oh, I see. If it's eligible for the Sloan commissioning grant, you must follow up with questions regarding the scientific or technological content of the material. Okay, so I should spend the next whatever prepping each one of these things, right?
Right.
Do you want to tackle one and I tackle one and we can piggyback it? Or like bios? I'll work on my bio now, okay? 150 words. Let's see what's next. Upload the first 5 pages of your screenplay or treatment. A cover page is not required but is allowed and will not count as one of the first 5 pages. Great. Okay, let me get the PDF up of the screenplay, sequester the first 5 pages, save it as a PDF, and then upload it. That's the mission. Oh my gosh, that was exhausting. We've been working on these, on the application form for the Sundance development track for like hours now, and I think we finally have all of our answers put together and everything. And now the only thing that's left is to, oh, where did my screen go? Is to pay the $45. So that's what I'm going to do right now. This is exciting. I just paid the application fee. Now I can go back to the main page and have a look at this. Everything is like check, 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 check. All I have to do is hit review and submit. This is exciting. It's official. We just submitted to the Sundance 2026 development track.
Yay! I'm so excited.
Yay!
I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens, but yeah, it's great. It's great. It really helped us think about the film more thematically because you had to answer all
It
these
did.
questions.
It did.
It really helped.
It did. To be honest, my head's hurting a little bit with all the thinking. But yay, we submitted Sundance. Amazing. So now that we've submitted that to Sundance, I just want to kind of highlight for you guys how we deal with the next steps of that. Because obviously the next question comes, well, when do you find out? And honestly, we don't care. Because, well, we do care, but we don't care. Because one of two things is going to happen. At some point in the future, we're going to get a notification that it has been accepted or that I haven't been accepted, right? And if I haven't been accepted at that point, we just move on. We just get on with our day. If I get it in an email to me, I might not even tell Patrick because my hush is mellow, right? So this is how we deal with so many losses. Because if we got all amped up and like we're, oh my gosh, we're gonna find out in 60 days, and we start counting down 60 days, and we get all wrapped up in that emotional journey and being invested, and oh my gosh, am I gonna get it? Am I gonna get it? Am I gonna get it? And then you find out that you don't get it. That can be crushing. I think that's a common thing for filmmakers early in their career. And because there's just so much more rejection than there is collaboration, right? So this is a set it and forget it thing. This is put it in the oven and forget it. I mean, obviously don't put it in the oven because you burn the house down. But you know what I'm saying, right? This is we've submitted it to Sundance, and that's the end of the story. You know, we'll find out when we find out. And chances are I won't get it because, like Morgan Freeman in Shawshank Redemption, at this point, I'm like, there's so many opportunities. Usually the ones where they ask you what's your sexual orientation, but there's so many of these opportunities that I've applied for in the past, and at times felt like, my gosh, we nailed it. And to be honest, with all the work we put in today, I feel like we absolutely nailed our answers and we put in a good show. We put in a good effort. This is a good attempt. But I honestly, in my heart, I don't think it's gonna happen. So why even stress about knowing when the notification date is? I wanted to tell you a little bit about all the different things we had to do for this application, which included a 150-word bio, a 250-word introductory statement, and then I had to do 8 essay questions. Okay, each of these essay questions are like 150 words, and these are the questions. What are the key themes you're exploring in your script? How do you describe the intended tone, feel, and visual style of your script? What do you most want to work on in your script? What needs the most attention creatively? Let's see, what else? This is a lot, guys. Why are you passionate about telling the story now? What gives it urgency? Who do you see as the audience for this film, and what do you want them to take away from it? What is your personal connection to the material? What steps are you taking to ensure that the characters and world of your film are authentically represented? And then obviously the logline and the synopsis, and of course all the traditional demographic forms and stuff. And they always ask this question, like, about your sexual orientation. Are you straight? Are you gay? Are you bi? And honestly, I don't get that. It's like none of your beeswax what my sexual orientation is. I have no idea why this is an important question to film opportunities like festivals or development, opportunities. Pat, how do you feel about this topic?
Well, it's you're sort of old school because nowadays it's all about representation, and people's sexuality is part of their identity.
Yeah, but it's just so personal. It's like, it's just really personal. I feel like it's none of their beeswax, and I'm not about that question. But I filled that out. We paid the $45. We hit submit. We have officially submitted. And something I wanted to talk about that I forgot about earlier. Of all the times I've submitted shorts to Sundance through Film Freeway, to the festival, and also features to Film Freeway and to the festival, it has since come to my attention that of all the thousands of submissions to Film Freeway, Sundance doesn't look at any of them, right? They say publicly they do, and I've always had my suspicions about that, but the reality is that the only films that actually get into Sundance are films that have been through one of these development tracks.
Or they have a famous name attached to them, or a big studio.
That is very true, Pat. Great point. Or they got gazoodles of money behind them, is the name of the game, right? So,
and people lobbying for the movies too.
And people what?
Lobbying for the movies.
People lobbying, yeah. There's a lot of money
they spend money to lobby for their film to be in Sundance.
Yeah,
all the top festivals.
Yeah, at the top end, there's a lot of money involved. But, as far as the bulk of their selections, though, that goes to films that have been through one of these development track programs. So if we have any chance of Scissormouth getting into Sundance, this is actually it. Because if it goes through the Screenwriters Lab and is and does well, and big if, and then we would get to the Directors Lab, and then from that you would get access to financing and things like that. But as I said at the beginning of this video, this is the B plan for Scissormouth. And honestly, I really, truly, hand on my heart, do not expect us to get in. But I guarantee you, if we didn't do this application today, there'd be even less chance. So this comes back to what I was saying earlier about the wins. You can only win what you shoot for, right? So shoot for the stars, and if you shoot for the moon. If you miss, at least you'll be among the stars. Who said that?
I don't know.
It's a great quote.
It's a good quote.
Anywho's, this is the reality of filmmaking, right? This is the daily grind. I usually have a cup of coffee in one hand and my dog on my lap, but this is it. A lot of computer work, a lot of brain power, a lot of writing, a lot of rewriting. This is the grind. But if you like this long form content, please click in the circle up here to subscribe. Please leave a 5-star review down below, and I will see you all tomorrow for more film development hell. Peace. I can't believe we submitted to Sundance.